Good evening from the SBC Newsroom. The news summary for this Wednesday's 15th of May. Tariffs on importation of personal goods will not be affected by the new law, that is SI 40, under the Customs Management Act. The SI was published in the Official Gazette earlier this week, which establishes that commercial goods imported into the country, which is 1,500 rupees or less, will be exempted from customs declaration and payment of customs duty. The Principal Secretary for Trade, Francis Lebon, says that the new law only concerns commercial goods and it formalizes a practice that has been in place since 2013.
It is important to note, in terms of SI 40, to put some context into it, a decision was taken in 2013-2014, whereby a threshold was established for commercial goods to be exempted from any custom duty and declaration. Okay? For 10 years, this practice has been the same, and until today, it is the same. Okay? The problem was that in the consultation, it was raised that this was one of the weaknesses to leave this as a policy or as a part of a minutes of meeting. So we took a decision to put this into an SI to give legal certainty to the custom officers, to the importers as well, and also to the courier and postal office who will be implementing SI 40. And I would like to reiterate that nothing has changed in terms of practice, nothing has changed in terms of the allocation of personal allowance, which is currently 3,000 rupees in SI 82. What the SI is doing is simply formalizing the practice of the last 10 years into a legislation.
The National Assembly has approved a motion asking that all public servants discharge their duties professionally to reduce public discontent and improve public services in general. The motion commended those civil servants who do their job well, but pointed out that some were not mindful of providing a good service to their clients. The motion was tabled by Beauvallon's MNA, John Warreau. The motion was approved by 22 votes, all from LDS members. US MNAs were not present for the vote. They walked out just before MNA Warreau gave his summary to close the debate. The Ministry of Health is considering several initiatives and strategies to help reduce congestion at the English River Clinic. The clinic provides services to patients from the central region, as well as a group of the population working in the town area. The Health Minister, Peggy Vidot, says that on average, 350 to 400 people visit the clinic per day for different services. She was answering a question from Perseverance's MNA, de Sheila Bastien, on plans to decentralize certain services at the English River Clinic. The Fair Trading Commission has produced 2 sets of guidelines for consumers in Creole. The first one is a guideline for consumers in general, and the second is related to issues in the construction industry. The FTC joined together with the Creole Academy and other partners to produce the documents. The Chief Executive Officer of the FTC, Nathalie Edmond, says they're hoping the 2 guides will help consumers make better choices when looking for services in the construction industry.
The 2 guides that we've launched today is essentially to provide information to consumers to ensure that they understand their rights in respect to their responsibilities as well. We know that nowadays you've got a lot of products, a lot of services available, but it's important to know how to access, when to access, what is good, what is not good, what is of merchantable quality, and these 2 guides will be able to help them to understand and know how to make these purchases, and the right purchases to make. At the same time, it's very important because we've realized that in the construction industry, there are so many issues, so many challenges, let me say, that consumers face. So basically, we want to have this guide as a guide to help consumers to know how to navigate these difficult situations that they encounter in the construction industry.
Most private clinics in Seychelles got the chance to know more on what different private clinics, centers with specialized equipment, laboratories, and specialized clinics in Mauritius have to offer. This is in terms of treatment and care. This has been possible through a business forum organized by the Economic Development Board of Mauritius, EDB, in collaboration with the Seychelles Investment Board, the SIB, and the Seychelles Chamber of Commerce, SCCI. The SCCI's chairperson, Olive Bastien, says this is a very positive step taken by the EDB.
And this business forum really, it's an opportune time for us to have the dialogue, for us to look at networking, but also for us to have in terms of opportunities to see how we can do business with the different counterparts. So I think it's a very positive forum, and I hope that the EDB, the Economic Development Board, and SIB, we can find ways to work with all the associations to have these kind of sector-specific in terms of forums, which I think will be very positive for Seychelles, but also for the other jurisdiction that we have interaction with. So I think, how do we keep on having these forums, but in different sectors, because you see that once you start having that specific component to the presentation rather than having multitudes of sectors, I think there's more focus. The discussion is much more specific. And I think then it becomes in terms of, it builds the momentum. And I think it does create a very solid platform for us to keep on having that dialogue.
To commemorate the International Day of Families, the National Children's Council, the NCC, hosted a session for fathers in the ministry responsible for the family. Some of the topics addressed during the session were the role of a man in promoting family well-being, strategies for strengthening family relationships, challenges that families face in today's society. The aim of the session was also to get the men to reflect on their contribution as key members of their families and help find tangible solutions to problems that arise with the family setting. And on this note, we end this news summary. Have a very pleasant evening.